Harry and Meghan didn't believe they were left by the royal family, hoping they could come back someday. Some people laughed at that hope. Today we'll share more details in this video. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. Since King Charles was diagnosed with cancer earlier this year, the royal family has faced immense pressure. Recently, Princess Catherine disclosed her own battle with cancer. Additionally, there are rumors that Prince Harry is considering taking on royal responsibilities again. However, sources from Buckingham Palace have firmly dismissed any chance of this occurring. They assert that he will not be invited back. Royal author Angela Levin, speaking to the Royal Report, mentioned that Harry understands he won't be permitted to have a part-time role in the royal family, splitting his time between the States and the UK. The family has lost trust in him, and Meghan strongly opposes it too. There's too much animosity now for it to even be considered. They wouldn't be required to return to Britain under any circumstances, especially after their behavior. Why would they be welcomed back when they show no regard? It's clear how disconnected they are. Now, it seems they're vying for attention against the royal family. How sad for them. I have a message for them: stay where you are. I simply can't comprehend this. Both Meghan and Harry still hold on to hope that they might be invited back as working royals on their own terms. Well, maybe we need to revise that. Both Wallis and Edward still cling to the hope that they might be invited back as working royals on their own terms and reside in the UK permanently. That's what happened in the late 30s and 40s. But they didn't get what they wanted, and Meghan and Harry will face the same outcome. Let's not forget, Meghan Markle and Harry aren't keen on working more than an hour a week, unless it's for Meghan and the work is done on a mattress. And I'd say causing chaos isn't a trait anyone wants within the royal family. Now, these two, let's remember, all they truly desire is to tear down the royals and gain fame and money for themselves. Considering all the accusations and lies Harry and Meghan have hurled at the royal family, it's clear they're misreading the situation. If they think anyone wants them to return, they're mistaken. It's also crucial to remember why Harry and Meghan even want to come back. It's because they failed to attain the wealth and status they desire on their own. So they believe that if they can reconnect with the royals, they'll finally achieve the celebrity status they crave. But that's not going to happen. The British public doesn't want them, and why should anyone care if Harry's upset about it? It's his problem, and nobody feels sorry for him. He just has to come to terms with the fact that it's done. He's an outcast. Harry and Meghan have repeatedly shown that they can't be trusted with even the smallest piece of information. I don't see a way back for them after all the negativity they've spread, especially about Catherine. They complained about not being informed about her cancer before the public, and Harry being left out of succession planning. Well, that shows they're just as out of touch as ever. You can hope all you want, but it's never going to happen. Harry and Meghan have shown they're completely unfit for service. They've criticized and tarnished the royal family on all fronts, proving themselves to be dishonest. Parliament, the royal house, and the people won't accept them as representatives again. Parliament approved their departure, and they won't want to reinstate them as working royals. They simply lack decency. When you look at Harry these days, it's obvious he can't even take care of his appearance. He looks disheveled, and you wouldn't guess he came from such a privileged background. Harry isn't cut from the same cloth as his brother. He lacks good character. It seems he's always been that way, which I suppose makes him and Meghan a good match. Neither of them are good people, and neither are worthy of being in the royal family. We can be certain that if they're attempting to return, it's because they're scheming something deceitful. They're aiming to exploit King Charles's soft spot for them as his grandchildren, and then they'll do whatever they can to make life difficult for William and his family with their lies and accusations. They're trying to worm their way back in, but it doesn't take a genius to see their hidden agendas. I can't fathom how they believe they'd ever be welcomed back. I mean, who's buying into this? Harry thinks he can represent the royals somehow. Well, if that's the case, we might as well give up on the monarchy altogether. People will never support a monarchy with Harry involved. But really, I think it's all about Harry and Meghan being incredibly desperate. They've hit rock bottom, and it's pitiful. There's no chance Parliament, the Commonwealth, or the royal family would ever welcome them back. They've been cast aside, and that's final. If they want to return, tough luck. They can't dodge questions like why they'd even want to come back in the first place. What happened to their quest for freedom? What happened to enjoying life in California? What happened to all the pain they claimed to endure while living with the royal family? What about the media scrutiny and public backlash they complained about? What happened to their desire for independence? Well, it's because Harry and Meghan's lives have spiraled downhill. They've realized they're worthless without their royal ties. It's because they're such detestable individuals, and all their tales of woe to gain sympathy in the US have backfired. They've played the victim card too many times, but people aren't buying it anymore. I believe they should just stay put in California. They're not wanted, needed, or welcomed in any public capacity. In my opinion, Harry should be charged with treason. As an officer and prince of the realm, he severely betrayed his crown, his family, and his country. Meghan Markle should also face consequences for perjury. It's evident to me that they stand no chance of returning while the King and Princess Catherine are recovering. Harry has attempted to extend the olive branch multiple times, but it's futile. And claiming otherwise won't change anything. As long as William is alive, Harry and Meghan will remain outsiders. Harry also signed the Sandringham Agreement, so what did he expect? Perhaps Meghan is now urging him to make a comeback, but it seems unlikely to succeed. Well, tough luck. You've made your bed, so now it's time to lie in it, even if the bed isn't very comfortable. Meghan Markle returned to America with her worthless title and couldn't even land a job as an actress. That's the problem. They claimed they wanted privacy and independence, but all they did was seek publicity for themselves, criticize the royal family, and give that disgusting interview accusing both the royals and the British public of racism. So, no, there's no chance of reconciliation. They're simply not needed. The royal family is managing just fine without them, and they've been told to stay put. They won't be part time royals. That's never going to happen. I wish the media would stop talking about this ridiculous idea. It seems that Harry and Meghan are realizing their popularity has plummeted and their bank accounts aren't looking too healthy either. It's not what they had hoped for, right? Their dreams of a lavish life filled with riches, fame, and celebrity status have gone down the drain. No organization would be thrilled to have them show up for a ribbon cutting ceremony. They don't deserve to be working royals. And seriously, who wants to listen to one of their confusing speeches? If they did return, the royal family would have to push them into early retirement, offering them some money they desire and a work-free lifestyle that pays just as well as if they were working, allowing them to live out their miserable lives in peace. Perhaps someone close to them should tell them that the royal family doesn't need them. Only the media is claiming otherwise. The royal family is simply focusing on their duties, and they'd rather handle the work themselves than invite Harry and Meghan back in to create more problems. Prince William would prefer to manage the monarchy alone rather than involve either of them because he understands they can't be trusted. Meghan would likely demand a higher salary than anyone else for any work she does. Moreover, when Harry decided they wanted to leave, they were given a year to reconsider, but they didn't. The royal family had to adapt to his absence and redistribute the workload. Currently, the family has a few members temporarily out of action, but that doesn't mean they're desperate. Let's face it, they'd have to be extremely desperate to even consider allowing Meghan and Harry back. So, Harry, it's time to let go of the dream. With over 60 people in the line of succession, I'm sure volunteers could step in if the workload became too much for those currently sharing it. The royal family will never be so desperate that they need Harry and Meghan back. The story of Meghan and Harry isn't very complicated. They resigned from their roles and fled. They relocated to California via Canada because Canada wouldn't cover their security costs. They complained on national and international TV, and even in a book written by a friend. They're puzzled why nobody informed them about Catherine's diagnosis before the public knew. Meghan and Harry are also reminding us that they're not very bright. It seems they're just realizing that with no financial support from the King and William, they're on their own. The royal family isn't seeking any assistance from Harry and Meghan, so they're wasting their time hoping to be invited back, especially since they're being ignored by the royal family. Their use of royal titles holds little significance, especially in the US. It appears Meghan's go-to solution for everything is to throw money at it. But now they're running out of money, so I'm unsure what she's going to do. Meghan also tends to act as if she's in charge, and Harry seems willing to let her do as she pleases. Neither of them ever grasp their place in the royal hierarchy. Harry and Meghan will only stir up trouble. Allowing them back in would do more harm than good. I'm certain the royals were relieved to see them go. So, fine, don't let them back in. Good riddance. Recently, there was news that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are still hopeful they will be asked to return as working royals. How do you feel about this issue? Please leave a comment to let us know. Don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to the King YouTube channel. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow.